Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver
Good
now.
morning, Bix Weir, roadguru.com. It is Monday the 25th. It is the day the Department of Justice has to decide one way or the other to allow JP Morgan to get out of its deferred prosecution agreement. One way or the other. This is the deadline. Today is the deadline, probably by the end of the day. I am monitoring all the news from the Justice Department. Now, if you guys have been following my work, yes, that gigantic lawsuit admission of guilt for rigging the silver market from 2008 to 2015 or something. They paid $920 million. All these other banks agreed, also settled with the SEC and the DOJ. Well, it was the DOJ. The CFTC didn't do anything. For 5 years, they were sitting on JP Morgan's desk while this was going on. So they're part of it. But the DOJ under Trump did something. There was a 3-year prosecution agreement. A 3-year deferred prosecution agreement that expires today. Well, no, sorry. It expired already 6 months ago. But after 6 months, the DOJ has to decide one of two things. They can let JP Morgan go and say, you fulfilled all the things you were supposed to do, including compliance. Or number two, they can reopen the case, go after JP Morgan again. The Federal Reserve and the Office of Comptroller of Currencies both released last week that they are in violation of the deferred prosecution agreement. They didn't say that. They didn't say the deferred prosecution agreement, but they busted JP Morgan for being non-compliant for the last, I think they said it was 15 years. And it continues to be non-compliant. This is huge. This is gigantic. Is this on purpose, or are they using it as leverage? Now, the lovely Miss Jenny Moonstone, when I talked to her, she saw some kind of leverage taking place. Not sure if they will announce what's going on, as they usually don't. But the requirement of the Department of Justice is to decide today, the 25th, which will be the end of the 6-month period, whether or not JP Morgan's going to be cut loose or whether or not they're going to reopen the case. That's the only two options. I love the law. Anyway, I don't know if they'll announce it on their website, but it should be filed in court. If anybody knows how to figure out how to get into those court documents, take a look. This is the deferred prosecution agreement against JP Morgan for all the crimes of rigging that's gold, silver, and the treasury market. We've all heard about that case. Many JP Morgan employees have gone to jail for it. Jeffrey Christian continues to deny that there is any such thing as silver manipulation. So does Metals Focus. So does the Silver Institute. It's shocking. Even though they all admit to it and people are in jail because of it. JP Morgan, precious metal trader, sent into prison. It's just over and over. Former JP Morgan traders convicted of fraud, attempted price manipulation, spoofing, multi-year manipulation scheme. JP Morgan Chase agrees to pay $920 million in connections with the scheme to defraud precious metals. Anybody who said and says that the silver market is not rigged is either a liar or really stupid. Really beyond stupid. I don't think Jeffrey Christian is that stupid. I don't think Metals Focus is stupid. I don't think the Silver Institute is stupid. So if they're not stupid, but they're still saying that there's no rigging in gold and silver, then they are lying, which is 10 times worse, unfortunately. All right. Here's what I want to talk about. The U.S. Mint is required by law to make silver eagles enough to meet customer demand. By law, the Secretary shall mint and issue in qualities and quantities that the Secretary determines are, quote, sufficient to meet public demand. U.S. Law 31 U.S.C. 5112E. That's what it is. More proof they are not doing that. Costco has run out of Silver Eagles. They started a Silver Eagle program where they're selling tubes of Silver Eagles at pretty decent prices. And they started selling them in December, and they've run out. They supposedly they had enough for a full year, they thought, and they ran out within 3 months. So yeah, Costco is out of Silver Eagles, which is tells you that these guys over at the U.S. Mint, who are absolutely curtailing the amount of Silver Eagles sold, are doing it illegally. There's more proof. I mean, I gave you proof. The head of Silver Eagle sales said, we are not making enough Eagles to fulfill demand. And we're doing it on purpose, is what he said. You can hear that discussion. Go to roadtoroot.com, Public Road. Everybody can listen to it. First, listen to Cliff High's discussion on the fate of silver and humanity. That's a really good one. That was from 2022, I believe, or 2020. But right down here, if you go down a little bit, is my discussion with the head of Silver Eagle Sales of the U.S. Mint, a 3-part discussion. Great guy. He basically said, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. All you silver stackers who are pissed off at the Mint, I'm with you. Might have gotten in trouble for it. Don't know. He hasn't returned my latest calls, so did they fire him? I don't know. He was in his 70s. He was just doing it because he loved his country. And he thought it was cool to do it. He's got little kids working for him, he said. Listen to the interview. It's like, oh my God. It is shocking. But here's just more proof. Yes, Costco has run out of Silver Eagles, which is in complete violation of the law of the U.S. Mint. They've run out because the U.S. Mint won't provide them with them. I would caution you to be careful. If you buy under, I think it's under $1,000 worth of silver, it's supposed to be taxable. Anything over $1,000, I think, is non-taxable. And people have said, well, Costco is sometimes charging tax on it and sometimes not. But the prices are decent. From what I hear, that's why they're gone. So the U.S. Mint is supposed to sell these things unlimited quantity at their cost without a markup, and they're not doing that. They're not doing that either. So I checked Costco today. Yep, there it is, out of stock, still out of stock. And it, I don't know how fast it went out of stock, probably 2 months in of a year's supply. They thought they had a year's supply and just instantly sold out. Maximum transaction of 5 units. That'd be 100 ounces because you can get 20 ounces per unit. But there shouldn't be, it says shipping and handling included. There should be no tax on it over 1,000. So, yeah, when they come back and you get a better price than your silver dealer, see, that's the thing. They're not coming back. That's why you have to pay premiums. And then Costco will say, oh, my God, what's going on with this Silver Eagle premium? Everybody should be contacting Costco, by the way, and say, hey, I want to get those Eagles you were selling. It was a fair price. I want to get them. And they're going to say, the U.S. Mint isn't shipping us any. And the reality is they aren't shipping them any because Costco's selling them for a fair price. So anybody who doesn't have, anybody who is getting their Silver Eagles from somebody else is going to have to pay more than what they pay at Costco because Costco can't even get them. Try to do pre-orders, or can I order now and then have you deliver them later? I think Costco does that. A little layaway on Silver Eagles. Woo! There you go. The odds of getting those Silver Eagles if silver goes crazy are 0% chance, by the way. Costco's layaway plan, you buy it, I'll pay for it now and give it to me when it comes in. I think they have a plan like that. We should try it out. Everybody try it out. Call Costco and say, hey, I think it's only online it's offered. Say, hey, can I buy it now and you ship it to me when it comes into inventory? Then again, you have the risk of a third party between you and metal. Don't do that. But find out if you can. Because especially if you can lock in the price now. So go check it out. Interesting stuff. Yes, the U.S. Mint continues to be, we all see what they're doing now. Same thing they did last year. In 2023, you can see right here, they had 3 months with 900,000 coins is all they were making. Now, that is illegal. Under commodity law, you have to make coins to meet demand. Unless demand was exactly 900,000 coins each month, February, March, and April, which it wasn't, which I found out, they've been told, don't you dare sell Silver Eagles. And that's when I complained. And then May, they started coming back, and they had a decent end of the year. Ended up making, they were going to make about 14, they were on pace to make about 14 million ounces. And now, they bumped it up at the end of the year to 24 million. Probably because everybody was complaining. But now, even though the numbers, they're not doing 9, they're doing over double. That's going to be their excuse. They're doing 1.7 million per month, it's still not going to get us to where we need to be, which is meeting supply. They have capacity to do about 4 to 5 million per month. 4 to 5 million per month. They are required by law to go in and buy the silver blanks at whatever price they have to pay for them. That is the law. And they just pass that price, that if they think they're paying a premium, all costs are passed on to the customer, but there's no markup, but they are marking it. They aren't legally allowed to mark it up, but they are. And it's ridiculous in silver. You know, it's pretty bad in gold too, but silver is ridiculous. So complain to the mint, complain to Costco. Ask Costco, what's the deal? I mean, why can't we get these online? It's a great program you're running. Where's the bottleneck? And they're going to say, well, we've asked the U.S. Mint to give us more. They just won't. They just won't. Violating the law. All right. This pissed me off. I went through Metals Focus release they had back in November of last year. And I'm looking at some of these charts. I'm like, this is so designed to misrepresent what's going on in silver. I mean, why does Metals Focus hate silver so much? Why does the Silver Institute hate silver so much? Look at this. This is trying to explain the gold-silver ratio because this graph and this graph look fairly similar. This is their attempt to explain it away. But look at this. This is the graph from January 2021 to September 2023, and you can see from 60 to 1 up to 100 to 1. This is the way it has gone for the last 3 years, right? We see that. And they're trying to say, well, this explains it. Look from 1990 to 2023. It's very similar. First of all, these numbers are different. This is up to 130 million ounces and down to 30. So if you're going to compare graphs, at least use the same metric on the left side. But beyond that, I'm like, wait a minute. They're trying to say that the average price of the average gold-silver ratio should be around 70 to 1. And that's how they're trying to justify why it's up over 80 now. It's just up a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute. That is just so patently false and misleading. You know why? Because why did they choose 1990 as the year? Why did they choose 1990 as the year to start this comparison? I'll tell you why. It's right here. This is the gold-silver ratio going all the way back to the 1970s. Look what happens here. So they're using from right here, 1990. See where it's peaking? And they're using this all the way, and then they squeeze it lower to make it look the same. Look what happened from 1990 before. This is exactly, 1975, we're at 25 to 1. 1980, in 1980, it was $800 gold and 50, I should be able to do this in my head. It was 16 to 1. That's getting closer to where it should be from 1980. But they just completely decided, I'm going to leave this out because it hurts my graph. It makes the case that silver's way, silver-gold ratio is way too high. Like ridiculously too high. Even though both metals are rigged. Bankers love that the price of gold goes up. They have no reason to suppress the price of gold. They own all the gold. Why would they want to suppress the price of gold? I think it is still managed, but they own all the gold. Of course they're excited that the price of gold has tripled in the last, 40 years, 45 years, since 1980. Of course they'd love it. It's tripled. They own all the gold. And then again, silver, it's less than half of what it was in 1980. They don't own all the silver. The silver is what scares them. The silver is what keeps Rustam Benham, the head of the CFTC, saying, we have to tamp down the price of silver. We have to tamp down. It almost hit $30. Oh, my God. We had to tamp down the price of silver. Oh, my God. It's hard to believe that this is still going on. Interesting stuff going on in India. I was looking for the IIBX. I think it's a holiday today in India. Somebody had said Monday was a holiday. Anyway, banks halt silver imports amid duty differential exploitation. I talked about this a week ago. But it is very, very, very relevant and very, very, very true that there are banks in India that sell silver and gold. Most of the banks do. Indians are huge investors, both in jewelry as dowry and in just bars and silver and gold. Just India loves it. Why? Because they hate their government. They hate their currency. They are the largest importer that we know. We don't know about China. And it's huge. Let's go back to metals focus. Here they're making it look at 2023, this estimate, mind you, it's from November. That's more like 1.5 or 1.6 billion ounces. Completely wrong, and I can prove it. They make it look like silver's going down, demand's going down. It's just not true. And then when they come to coins and bars, where is it? Okay. It's down here somewhere. Demand, here we go. Industrial demand, photovoltaics. This is industrial demand. They have photovoltaics rising at 30% from 22 to 23, when we know at a minimum it has to be 76%. At a minimum. Because that's what happened with the amount of gigawatts installed. So I don't know. They got a report coming out April 17th. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to lie, cheat, and steal, or are they going to tell the truth? Because this is ridiculous. It is impossible for the amount of gigawatts installed at 443 plus gigawatts, which is 76% rise, and yet there's only a 30% rise in the amount of silver used. And oh, by the way, massive amounts of solar panels were made, even a lot more than was installed. There's a massive glut of solar panels all around the world. It's reported in every newspaper on the planet, except Metals Focus doesn't seem to see that. We're going to see. We're going to see when their report comes out, but it's going to be way off. And yes, I will be very upset again. But where's that coins and bars? I thought they had. There's India. Look at that. 2022. Look at 2022. Over 300 million ounces were imported. And this year, I've already counted, let me check my numbers, about 100 million already in January and February. They haven't reported March, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Something has stopped in India right now. I was running the, so I have this right here. This is the link to the IIBX where I was getting daily data, and that's what's coming up now. I can't get into the IIBX. It's being hacked or something. I tried different browser. Let me know if you guys can get into the India IIBX data. Apparently the IIBX doesn't want us to know what's going on, or they're getting hacked themselves. Let me take a look here. This is the main site. Yeah, the main site is down. So don't know what's going on there. Okay, let's go. Bitcoin. All you anti-Bitcoin people have to just think of one thing. Bitcoin will continue to go up as long as the abuse of the fiat money system continues. If you think that the abuse of the fiat money system is going to stop and we're going to pay off our debts, get the balanced budgets in order, Congress is going to agree on everything, every country around the world is going to stop printing money, and there's no fake treasury bonds or Chinese bonds or no fake anything around here. If you think that's going to happen, you might have a little bit of an argument about why Bitcoin would go down. If the world gets their shit together, it will go down. If they do not, and if they cannot, Bitcoin will continue to go up to infinity, until the system crashes. So there you go. I listen to some of these gold guys who are so anti-crypto. I go, we're on the same team, guys. Come on. Nothing's going to stop Bitcoin as long as they keep printing money. Nothing's going to stop gold from going up as long as they keep printing money. If everybody gets their budgets in order, yeah, there would be a reason for them to stop. But that's not happening. So Bitcoin, of course, it will continue to run. and it'll run higher than anything, as we've already seen. I said this when it was $100. I'm going to say it when it's $69,000. I'm going to say it when it's $69 million. Bitcoin will not go up if you hodl it, because they are not trying to fix the system. They are trying to print their way out of issues, and there is no way out of it. So absolutely, you need some Bitcoin in your portfolio. I tend to like other cryptos that are much more useful. Theta, number one of all. Everybody and their mother is going to have a Theta Edge node on their phone, sharing their broadband, sharing their hard drive space, sharing their computing power. There's nothing you can't share. It's a sharing program, my friends. It's huge. Like, AI needs massive, they're talking about it all the time. It's right here. Bill Gates, the asshole, is talking about it, but Wall Street Journal, big tech's latest obsession is finding enough energy. The AI boom is fueling an insatiable appetite for electricity. Every time you hear electricity is growing, demand's growing, solar panels are getting bigger, AI needs massive amounts of electricity. Every time that word comes from the mainstream media's lips, that's more silver. That's more silver. That's more silver. Silver is the best conductor of electricity. It's used in little bitty bits. And it's going away fast, my friends. Going away fast. Not fast enough for a lot of people, but hey, when you've been in this game long enough, you ease through the rough patches. I mean, silver's trading at 20 or 50% of its all-time high from 1980. Come on, how much money's been printed since 1980? And by the way, in 1980, when they took down the Hunt brothers and stopped the rise of silver, that was an artificial takedown. The true fair market value of silver would have gone to limitless. Would have destroyed a bunch of shorts. Would have destroyed the banking system. That's why they did it. It was not a free market. Oh, yeah, this is free market. That's why it hit 50. Same with 2011. I've gone through many times. Who was in charge of silver in 2011? Bill Daley. Bill Daley was put, he's Jamie Dimon's head of his, what do they call it? The SWAT team. Jamie Dimon's SWAT team. Bill Daley got placed as Obama's chief of staff in January to manage the silver price. They let the price go up to $50, and they slammed it down to create an artificial bear market we're just starting to come out with. Are they going to do it again? I don't know. So many people know about it. Now you need physical silver. Price doesn't even matter. Every time they slam the price down, India's just slopping it up. More silver. It's like Pac-Man. Waka, 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 waka. Pac-Man! Anyway, yeah, you need a hell of a lot of energy and silver, and everything is just, oh my God, it's crazy how much silver we're going to need. Yeah, that's what I got for you. I got to run. Lots going on. I will keep watching the Department of Justice and their news releases and waiting for the release on JP Morgan. So we'll see. Let's see if they've released anything yet. Not yet, but today is the day. If you guys can find the court documents, and it's to the $920 million fine that they paid in connection with blah, blah, blah. You go down there on the DOJ site, and here's the deferred prosecution agreement. So here's the actual court is the United States District of Connecticut. United States of America versus JP Morgan. It's the fraud section of the DOJ. And then let me show you the dates down here. If you want, read about all the traders that were talking shit back and forth and all that, it's right in this document. Where are the sign dates? Which are the important? There they are. 9/25. So 9/25/2020. It's a 3-year deferred prosecution agreement, and then 6 months. So 6 months ends today. So as of today, they have to say either JP Morgan, you're free to go, or JP Morgan, you lied, cheated, and steal, just like the Fed and the OCC just said, and we're reopening the case. And you've already admitted to it, so you're screwed. RICO charges, here it comes. We will find out today. At least the court will. I don't know if the DOJ is going to announce it. But if you guys can dive into this court case and find the related documents that will be filed today, probably the end of the day, Go check it out. This is Bix Weir. Go to roadtoroad.com for all the behind-the-scenes scoop. Get your Veritasium token with 1-year membership. I mail it right to your front door. You don't even have to know how to use cryptos. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.